of days. So we get to x-ray those conversations, we bring them to you, and we let you have a say, or more like we have you have a say on those conversations. My name is Precious E. Welcome to the show. And just to let you know, today we'll have quite a couple of stories that we'll be talking about. Well, before I bring up those stories to you, ladies and gentlemen, remember that I told you last week that I'll be having one of our very, 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 very our own caller, one of our callers join us, and he's turned a caller from a caller to our own personal and in-house analyst in the house, right? So I have Mr. Darlington joining me. Good evening, Mr. Darlington.
Pretty precious.
I hope we will quarrel here. I hope I hang up on you here. Unfortunately, I can't drive you away from the studio today.
No, I am not here. In fact, you will not escape it again.
Oh my goodness. Welcome, Mr. Darlington. It's so good to see you in flesh and blood.
In fact, I'm so happy to be here. Though this is not my first time.
Oh, yes.
During the elections, I was here.
Oh, yes. I was told you well. Unfortunately, I wasn't around.
Yes, on your show. This is my first time.
First time, yes. Welcome. Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming.
A lot.
All right, so Mr. Darlington, let's take a look at some stuff that Nigeria has been talking about, or what's been trending all through. So first on our lineup is a brotherly advice from Nnamani to Peter Obi, right? Where former governor of Enugu State, Senator Chimaroke Nnamani, advised the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, to withdraw his petition challenging the victory of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu February 25th presidential election. To him, he said, see, your petition to Tinubu is dead on arrival. Well, let me read out that story very thoroughly. Nnamani described Obi's petition before the Presidential Elections Tribunal in Abuja as dead on arrival. He said, rather than pursue a court case, Obi should join Tinubu in the task of building a new nation. Now, he also called on Igbo. He also called on Obi and his supporters to align with the ambulance and conviviality of welcoming Tinubu's victory to the office of the president of the greatest black nation on earth. Now, Nnamani made the call in a statement on Sunday, saying Obi, who came placed third in the presidential polls, could not have won because he neither had the spread nor the appeal to become the Nigerian's president. So, I mean, how can somebody who came third claim that he's the winner of the election? He labeled Obi's petition challenging Tinubu's victory as bad belle, unquote, like bad belle, petulance, and demarketing. Nnamani said in his words, now quoting him, his petition is dead on arrival. He does not have the spread or national appeal. His appeal to non-electoral matters is to demarket the president-elect and besmirch his reputation. His petition is ego-driven, a joke carried too far. His attempt to highlight non-electoral issues is trying to embarrass the president-elect. And then Obi needs to come down with from his high horse to allow sedate minds to negotiate on behalf of the Igbo and the Southeast for a safe landing to include our stake in the national palaver and share of the accruals of the Commonwealth. These are his words, and I quote him for that. He says, we must join the mainstream and participate in making a new Nigeria. We are not going anywhere. We can't be and ready to bargain for our own share. It is common knowledge that others are doing the same. Igbo has to confront reality now or be consigned to the backwoods of history. Time to align is now. Reacting, I don't want to go through the reaction of Peter Obi, although let's just say that. So, the spokesperson for the Obi Dasi Presidential Campaign Council, Yunus Atanko, berated Nnamani over his alleged fixation on the activities of Labour Party presidential candidate. Tanko stated that he found the senators' interference with Obi's campaign annoying and unbecoming of an elder statesman. He said, his words now, why isn't Nnamani much interested in this case? What concerns him with regards to Tinubu. I think he should just allow us to live our lives and take decision on the concerns that Nigerian or the concerns, or take decisions on what concerns Nigerians people. Peter Obi is not doing what he is doing because of himself, but for the people of Nigeria. I think he should just have peace in his mind and let us be. So he went on and on with that. First of all, the reason I raised this conversation is because remember Soludo's letter to Peter Obi. He had also mentioned about something about the Igbo interest, right? And now Nnamani is mentioning the fact that Peter Obi should forget about his court case with Tinubu and the fact that case is already dead on arrival, and he should rather align with Igbos so that the discussion of the interests of Igbo people can take place. I'd like you to react to that.
Thank you very much, Precious. When you see or hear this type of comments, the question you should ask yourself first is, where is Nnamani coming from? It's all about appointments. Nothing else. He's looking for rehabilitation. He has been in political limbo for a while now.
He was a senator.
He was. I get him before no be property.
Really?
He was. Since that time, what happened? Who lost the election in Enugu? Was he not the one? So you can see now, it was after he lost that election that he now want to use his brother to shine. You see, Obi is like a shining star. If you want to make waves now, just go and say something about Obi. All of them, they have been throwing stones at Obi. If you want to get the attention of their paymasters in Abuja, just criticize Obi so that they will recognize you. Obi is like a thorn in their flesh. All of them. So I thank God Obi is not bothered though. He's not. What you are seeing did not start today. Go and check from time immemorial. Anybody who has come to do the will of God, he will not find it easy.
What do you mean by the will of God? Have other leaders not been doing the will of God?
Mm-hmm. If they have, Obi wouldn't have been making the type of waves he's making. This is the first time he's taking a shot at the presidency. And look at the achievements. Look at the crowd he has pulled. Look at the followership. You remember that initially they said all obedient are all the social media people. That they only on social media, they don't even have PVC.
4 people tweeting in a room.
All of them, they were just, there's nothing they did not say. When they saw what happened in the election, is that not why all of them now woke up and started doing all sorts of things? They should have allowed the election to be free and fair, and let's see whether Obi have national spread or not. It's like you enter the ring to fight with somebody.
But the president said that this election is the freest, the fairest, and the most credible election we've ever had. As a matter of fact, the most peaceful of it all in the history of Nigerian elections. And he says he's proud that this is the legacy he's leaving Nigeria. So you are now saying otherwise. Why so?
There is nobody who will tell you that his mother's soup is not sweet, though. Were you expecting the president that said that he is leaving behind an embarrassing legacy? Is it only the election that is not free and fair? He knows. Okay, election that is free and fair, is it not the one that is ordering the arrest of somebody whom they cannot find where he is now? What happened in Adamawa that even embarrassed him? Is it a free and fair election? No, tell me, what happened in Lagos? Was it a free and fair election? All the killings.
Well, they are saying that there is no perfect democracy. So, I mean...
No. It's a lie. There is a perfect democracy. Precious. There is a perfect democracy in Europe. How many times have you heard that any European country conducted the election and people were told not to come out and vote? And people were killed and ballot boxes were snatched. Is that not why they are prosecuting Donald Trump in America? He wanted to rubbish American democracy. And the American institution is telling him, no, you can't do this. He was alleging rigging in an American election, and the vote had to be counted manually 3 times. And he lost. So what other evidence are you looking for? Mention any time any European nation who had an election, and you had this type of embarrassing outcome. There is one of our guy who comes from Switzerland.
They do.
He told you how these things are done there. In fact, because of the nature of Switzerland, they have 7 vice presidents. And these 7 vice presidents, they represent all the nationalities that make up Switzerland. The French are there. The Germans are there. The British are there. All of them forming vice president. The 7 of them, they represented interests. And so there is peace in that place. I can't remember when any European nation will hold an election and you hear this type of noise. Over what? Precious. The deputy prime minister of Britain just resigned because of what? Allegation of bullying in his former office, so not even present office. He was accused of bullying. And for that, he even said that he will resign if the allegation is proven to be true or not. He didn't wait, he just resigned. That is the British man for you, the people, our former colonial masters. So what did we copy? So anybody telling you there is no, it's a lie. If there is no perfect democracy, then we wouldn't have copied anything. We wouldn't have copied anything. It's something they perfected that the whole world is copying. There is perfect election. And I challenge anybody to tell me that election in Europe that have generated this type of hoopla. That election in Europe that people's ballot boxes were taken away, ballot boxes were snatched, thugs were carrying machete and stick and beating people. Let the person come and show me that election in Europe. I'm talking of Europe. So who is telling you there's no perfect election? Or have they not been holding elections over there? You don't even know. Pressure, you don't know. Their leaders, you don't even know. It is quietly. People will just be passing along the street and they'll be voting and going to their work and all. You won't know what is going on. So what are you talking about? Ordinary Ghana here, the day they had the election, we saw pictures of women who were selling in front of polling booth. People were voting and the woman was there selling her wares. Here, there will be no movement. Nobody will come out. The country will be on lockdown because of election. So don't buy that idea. This is the propaganda they say to you when they want to justify their infamy. That is what they do. When they want to justify their infamy, they will tell you there's no perfect election. Okay, mention that one that is not perfect somewhere. Mention it. They will mention.
But like you just mentioned, the United States have their own fair share of issues
hold
too.
on. What happened in America? That's what I'm telling you now. They have taken care of it. The institution did not allow Donald Trump to mess up the bastion of democracy, the bastion of free world. That was what he wanted to do, but the institution did not allow.
Well, on the other hand, people are seeing it as a political attack.
No, it's not. Even Donald Trump knows. He knows what he was doing. He knows what he was doing. He wanted to rubbish this American institution. Is that what you want the American people to allow? Somebody who has been alleged of tax fraud. The man wasn't the right person now. He has proven that he doesn't have the decorum to be an American president. And the institution have checked him big time. So if they should allow Donald Trump to get away with what he did, do you know that will be a minus for American democracy? That will be a minus. So I thank God they stopped him. And I wish they will send him to jail. I wish Donald Trump will go to jail because everything he did was a minus for American democracy. He didn't do right. We know of past presidents who even after they felt that things were not, they let go. But in no case, they even convinced him that he was defeated roundly. Election was for the first time manually. The particular state that he was making noise that they counted the vote manually 3 times. So what other evidence is he presenting that he was rigged? It will be impossible.
All right, so let's go back to the matter at hand. You were addressing the Nnamani situation.
Nnamani is, I told you, he's looking for a job. Go and check. Both Nnamani, both to Femi Fani-Kayode, both to Festus, they are all looking for appointment, nothing else.
But you know,
they are what you call Otinbu.
What he seems to be saying is not very different from what Soludo had said while addressing Peter Obi at a time. So do you think that truly Igbos, I mean, someone like Ojo Zakala also said it, that Igbo isn't ready for presidency yet, that, you know, we need to start building bridges. So do you really think that Igbos should come down and begin to negotiate the pact, you know, of the Igbos, that negotiates the interest of the Igbos?
The question you should be asking
in politics.
The question you should be asking yourself: who are these people that are talking? They don't represent the core Igbo now. There are people in Igbo land that will speak today. People will listen to them. People with honor, people with integrity, people that will know their antecedents, people that will know their past. People that has the interest of the Igbos at heart. People that have untainted record. So it's not everybody that makes noise that you are going to regard as talking. He's not even the only one. The other man, Ateze, did he not tell he had advised P2B to do this and that? He had advised to. All these things, go and check. Go and check where they are coming from. It's all about the crumbs from the master table that they are giving them. You know, that is what they are satisfied with. And for that, they can sell their birthright. They can, from the way they are talking.
So you do not think that the Igbos really need to negotiate themselves, you know, to get into power?
Precious.
Sir?
Maybe you don't know. Do you know one man called Chief Abafemi Awolowo? He was in opposition until he died. Awolowo, because of his stand, because of his principled position. I'm telling you, I like Awolowo's politics. You may not like it, but that man, he understands, like the children of Isaka. He understands the time. He can read the time. He saw it ahead. When this man went to Alexander Hall in 1964, when he was to present a paper, he told the whole world that Nigeria is a geographical expression. Ziki didn't hear him. Till today, do you have a Nigeria? All this negotiation and all that, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. You fall for anything. The respect Awolowo has today is because of what he did to the people of Southwest. He understood the times and he made the very best use of it. So, why would you not compromise? You negotiate with who in the first place? Hold on. No. Have you seen anybody who negotiated with the devil and come out clean? Mention. It's like telling Jesus Christ, you should have answered the devil. Now when he said you should worship him, he will give you the whole kingdom of God. This and that. But
Mr. Darlington, you heard what happened last week when, you know, Adamu Garba responded or reacted to P2B's tweet where he said that he's going to fight poverty starting from the north. And he did throw all sorts of insults on P2B and then says that Obi would never smell, you know, that he would always just imagine it. Or the fact that he wants to be president will only be, you know, within his imagination and it would never come to fruition. Even an aide to the president.
Even Atiku's daughter.
Even Atiku's daughter even said that we will not. So it looks like, you know the statement that we will never allow you, even if we will allow an Igbo man become president, that it will be Okorocha or Tinubu. So now you see, that's what I'm saying. That do you think it would be better for the Igbos to come together and begin to negotiate and say, okay, so how do we go about this?
No, we are not negotiating with anybody. Precious, we are not negotiating with anybody. It is not necessary. we have been eating with our fingers before spoon came out. Are you aware of that? When they are tired, I have said it in another platform. When they are tired, look, when Gani Fahimi was alive, he was a firebrand. These are people that I emulate so well. In those days in United, we used to go to his chambers. I'm telling you, myself and what's his name? Gosin Okpara. We used to go there with one other guy. The man was a firebrand. He is one of those that I emulate. He did not compromise himself and Awolowo. These people stood out for me in the Southwest. Since they died, any other person. So why can't you have a principle? That thing they want to give you that you want to eat, after eating it, what happens? Eh?
On the other hand, Mr. Darlington, do you think we're taking this kind of, throwing politics into more of ethnic lines a bit too far? I mean, because it looks like it's beginning to do us more harm than good in the country. If we look, take for instance what the Vice President had said in a particular occasion, where he said that it is necessary that we did away more like with the state of origin thing and and replace it with state of residence. It looks like we're more driven by ethnicity. So do you think that would help us curb this whole ethnic sentiment?
You see, he is talking from experience. Because when he wanted to contest this presidency, they told him not to come to Lagos to campaign for his primaries. Remember, they told him to go to Ogun State, where he came from.
But he had served once upon a time in Lagos
as an attorney general.
Yes.
And the things he did in Lagos, in the Ministry of Justice, the whole African nations came to copy it. Imagine what Osinbajo did at the Ministry of Justice in Atalausa. It is unprecedented. He elevated jurisprudence to a higher level. Yet this is a man who is not qualified to rule. By the way, precious, you see, the Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge. These people that are telling you they own this place, they own that place, do they actually own anything? Why would anybody say that? People who came into Lagos and settled like yourself are telling you that you are not important.
They said it's a Yoruba land.
In fact, very, very, I don't know. It is because of ignorance. Let us interrogate this thing for a while. Precious, in the days of Western region, if they are pursuing you for tax, the moment you get to Ojibowu and cross over to Yaba and Western Avenue, they will leave you alone. The tax collectors will leave you alone. So, what does that tell you? If Lagos was part of Western region, why didn't they pursue you up to Lagos Island? It's not possible. This particular Lagos,
but it is now part of Western. It is now
at what point,
in Southwest Nigeria.
At what point did it become part of Southwest? And who are the real owners? That is the question. Because the last time I checked, someone who is the governor now came from Ogun State. His deputy Hamzat came from Ogun State. Tinubu came from Osun State. So, their worries migrated from Ile-Ife. Their cousins came from Ogun State. So, who are these people that are telling us that they own Lagos? Precious. This particular Lagos was ceded to British colonial master in 1861 by Oba Dosumu. Why didn't they cede the whole of Southwest to the British overlords? Why didn't he? Lagos has been administered as a separate colony from time immemorial. Everything about Lagos has been separate. That is why, if you check very well, non-indigenous have been governors in Lagos State. Mention any other state in the Southwest where non-indigenous have been governors, apart from Lagos. Jakode came from Kwara. Fashola came from Ondo State. Tinubu from Osun, Osinbajo from Ogun State. So if these non-indigenous, so-called non-indigenous of Lagos can be governors in Lagos State, then who are the real owners of Lagos State?
They are Yorubas. They are Yorubas.
That you are speaking Yoruba language does not make you the owner of the land. I have just given you a history here. Can they trace their genealogy, their family tree to any place in Lagos? That is the question. That you came in here and settled down like any other person does not make you the owner of the land. These are some of the things people don't understand. By the way, are you aware, Precious, that this same Lagos, to tell you that they've been operating separately, Amoteku, which was a what do I call it now? A
regional vigilante
group for the Southwest. Lagos is not included. They are not among. On the 7th of September 2017, the entire Southwest went to Mapo Hall at Ibadan. All the cream of Yoruba land, they came from abroad, they came from all over the world to come and discuss their position on restructuring. Precious, nobody from Lagos attended officially. That was the time of Hambody. On the 7th of September 2017, none of them. On the 23rd of September, that was when Tinubu now said he wants devolution of power against the opinion of the Southwest. Ambode followed on the 25th of September to say yes, he concurred with what Tinubu said. You can imagine. All right. The affair in Fere, which is the Apex group, was never recognized by people in Lagos here. Especially Tinubu, he denigrated them. He rubbished them. Okay, this Lagos land you are talking about, Precious. Do you know, and let us interrogate it, do you know that as early or as recent as 1958, when they were appointing National Assembly members, the three regions used to appoint 12 people. Appointment, not election. 1958. The North will appoint 12. Southeast, Southwest, they will appoint 12 like that to go and represent the National Assembly. The Lagos will now appoint 4, including the Oba. Why would the Lagos appoint their own separate if they are part of the Southwest? How? Are you getting the story now? So from time it's just that people they have fed people with so much propaganda. These people that claim that Lagos, go and check, 80% of them came from neighboring states into Lagos. They cannot trace any of their family tree to any place in Lagos. They migrated like you and I. They settled here like you and I. That is what I'm saying, and I challenge them to tell me otherwise. So if these people I mentioned can be governors in Lagos State, and they are claiming to be owners of Lagos, in what way? In what way? As a matter of fact, the land use decree by Obasanjo in 1978 have made it compulsory that every land in any part of Nigeria is in the custody of the governor. The governor is holding it in trust. That is why whenever government want to take land to do anything, if you like, build a 300-story building, they will take the land, they put down the building and do whatever they want to do. Is it not the owner of the land that would do with it whatever he want to do with it? So how is it your own? How? Nobody can stop government from using land in Nigeria today. Nobody. When they want to build express road at Ogun State, it passed through a cemetery. A cemetery. Some people say that they buried their great grandfather there. The governor, that's Amosu, he didn't listen. When they were consulting, excavators were bringing out scores of human beings and their skeleton on the road. Why didn't they go and say, this is our land, you must not touch it? Go and stop government from touching the land now, since the land is your own. All
right, Mr. Darlington, thank you so much.
And we have forgotten the most important thing, Precious.
What's that?
You see this land, you call it Nigeria. Somebody bought Nigeria and paid money for it. Go and ask the Royal Niger Company what they did in 1555. This Nigeria, somebody paid for it. is somebody's land.
Mr. Darlington, let's go back to the crux of the matter.
So all this thing about land ownership, it is all propaganda. I have just told you now. Let any of them come and tell me how they own Lagos and where it started from. That is a simple matter now.
All right, Lagos, this is still the Evening Rush, 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So, yes, on a hot topic this evening, we're having a few conversations. First on our lineup is your petition against Tinubu dead on arrival, Namani tells Peter Obi. And we've been looking at that. We've had Mr. Darlington, one of our very regular callers, as our guest this evening. And in our second conversation, we'll be looking at why state of origin should be replaced with certificate of residence as proposed by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo.
That is the way to go. Because America, that's why they call it God's own country. Nobody in America can claim out and claim that his great grandfather owned any land in America, because they all came from somewhere. The Americans, you see, it's better to learn from what happened in history. What Spain lost is what America gained. Because in 1492, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, they said that all the Jews should convert to Catholic Christians or they will kill all of them in 7 days. The Jews, they love their religion so well. They said no, they are not surrendering their religion. So they contracted Christopher Columbus to go and look for somewhere for them. And the result is the new world called America. That was how they landed in America. And they went there with all the luck and all the destiny they are carrying to go and develop America. That is why the Americans will never play with the Jewish lobby in America till tomorrow. Why do you think America love Israel more than they love any other person in the world?
All right, so let me let Lagos know that they can chime in on this conversation. If you're watching us on YouTube or you are listening to via the terrestrial and you'd like to jump in on this conversation, the phone lines are officially open for you to do so. If you'd like to send us a WhatsApp message, the WhatsApp number is 0700-903-9039. The numbers to call us would be 0816 442 5875, 0816 442 5875, 0904 334 9253, 0904 334 9253, and 0816 442 5875. You can also send a WhatsApp message to the WhatsApp number or call the WhatsApp line if you are watching from the diaspora. It is 0700-903-9039. That's the WhatsApp line. Mr. Darlington, okay, yes. What, you'd like to say something?
Yes, to tell you that Lagos has a special place. Lagos was the former federal capital of Nigeria.
Undoubtedly. Calabar was too.
Fine, because Calabar was never developed and all that, even though the amalgamation treaty was signed in Calabar. But Lagos enjoyed the outcome. Precious, have you seen the amalgamation treaty and what was written there? Have you seen it? The 28 members that signed that amalgamation treaty, none of them was a Nigerian. None of them. None of them was a Nigerian, Precious. Somebody amalgamated you. So if they want to go to history, how can you now claim that you own a land? This Lagos was a former federal capital. Everything that was developed here was developed with federal might. So if you want to claim the ownership, then let us share all the assets in Lagos. Because it cannot claim the ownership. First Act 77, that land there belonged to the Igbo family. The federal government had to beg him to give them that land. And they now gave him another land at Ebafo where he built his tank farm. So if you claim that Lagos is your own, then let us share all the assets of federal government that was here, because it was built with taxpayers' money, and that taxpayer including your own and my own. That's what we are saying. You cannot migrate from Oyo State or Osun State or Ogun State and come into Lagos and be telling me that you are the owner of the land. How?
Mr. Darlington, let's let people joining on the conversation. We would also discuss the fate of Nigerians in Sudan right now, as Air Peace has promised to airlift Nigerians out of Sudan or stranded in Sudan. However, you know that Nigerians are currently finding it difficult to escape via Ethiopian borders, since Ethiopia is insisting that Nigerians must get a visa to access or to live via their country, even though they're letting other African countries exit through their country. but they're not letting Nigerians. But let's just jumping on the phone lines and see what our callers have to say. Hello, you like to say something after this call? Hello, good evening. Hello, I lost you. So let's have you say what you have.
That will tell you how you have been reduced to nothing. Under normal circumstances, Nigeria, as the giant of Africa, we should be giving free pass in any African country. If things were normal, no African country will stop a Nigerian that is in distress. In fact, they would want to even host you as a Nigerian. You can't try that with America.
But what Ethiopia is doing isn't right. Is it right? Considering the fact that this is, they
are doing it. They said when the Iroko tree fall down, a woman will climb it. It's as simple as that. If things were how it's supposed to be, they will brush aside any diplomatic protocol as long as we are Nigerian. Don't you see how they respect and worship Americans?
And I was going to say that even UK and America had their flights land in Sudan to airlift their people.
They dare not to touch them. They dare not.
So if they could halt, or if they could give them the room to airlift their people, why can't they give others?
That will tell you that how you are regarded in international politics. You are nothing. Ordinary Africa, they don't have any respect for you. I'm telling you authoritatively that if things were normal, Nigeria, the president will just give order to the warring parties that they should even escort our people to the border of Nigeria and then go back and continue their fight. And that's how it's going to be. That is how it is going to be. But who will listen to who? That is what happened when we are shouting here, repair Nigeria. They said no, repair that, because I know what it means. When you command respect at home, you will command respect outside. Your people will be proud of you. Why do you think America? I read one book by Sidney Sheldon, The Other Side of Midnight. A character there, you know what he said? Constantine Demarais. He said, people believe in the Bible injunction that an eye for an eye. That in his own case, he takes an eye for an entire head. That is why people respect him and he mind his business. And that's why he has succeeded in business. America will take one America, they can go to war with, because of, didn't you see when they arrested when they saw these rascals kidnap one American between the border between Nigeria and Niger somewhere in Sokoto? Look at the elite force they sent, 6 of them. Those guys were the guys that took down Osama bin Laden. Donald Trump would dispatch them to come and bring one person who is even a clergy, not even a politician. No. But here, when they are saying what is going on here now, people that your government does not regard you, why would they not regard you?
Mr. Darlington, let's go back to our phone lines. Hello, good evening to you. Hello? Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Thank you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Ken from Prayer Estate.
Ken, you're welcome.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not hearing you from my
I can hear you. I can hear you, Ken.
Yeah.
We're hearing you.
So, Mr. Darlington, I thank God that you've succeeded in bringing him. I have my daughter who has just finished university, and one other man in my car listening to this man. And they said their own conclusion that if Nigeria must move forward, we need men who will tell you where you are coming from. If you don't know where you are coming from, it will be very difficult for you to know where you are going. This issue of, I listened to the interview of Osinbajo the other time. I say, how will they pitch this man against Obi? Forget these things we are talking. All the people talking about they want to be, the Igbos are not qualified. They are all aiming at something. Look at all Jews Okalo. Immediately after the election, what did he do? He went to Abuja to tell Baba that you should be the BOT chairman. He's still the one to tell him just because he wants the crumbs to be a houseboy. We know their game. Mr. Darlington, thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. They have been hiding. They don't want to. My Bible said
some years ago, no condition is permanent.
Yes.
Look at how Nigerians are being rubbished.
Oh, everywhere.
Lady P, do you know I traveled not quite long, maybe last year, along the West Coast. I saw the way I was separated from the line with my passport. Not that I'm going illegally. I'm going for an official assignment. We travel by road to Burkina Faso. See the way I was separated from the line. So let us continue. Look at what is only one American and the elite group came to, and they succeeded. Let me tell you, the Americans know where all the Boko Harams are if we give them the chance. How did they take out Osama bin Laden? Have you watched the film?
I wonder.
Or the clip.
I wonder.
How they took out Osama bin Laden.
Read the book now, No Easy Day. Go and read how the operation was carried out. No Easy Day. The man that pulled the trigger, he wrote a book on it. No Easy Day. Go and read it. The plane they came with, they destroyed it after they have finished the operation so that China will not go and study how that plane was made. A special plane was built that landed in Osama bin Laden's compound. And the guys did what they want to do.
Thank you, Ken, from prayer.
Look, Precious, don't allow anybody to use propaganda against you. It embarrasses me.
Mr. Darlington, let's go back to the phone.
Hold on. This thing that we are talking, hold on.
We have a caller on waiting.
Hold on.
We have a caller waiting.
Let the person talk.
All right. Hello, good evening to you. Hello? Hello? Would you like to speak to us? Hello? All right. You're on. Can you hear us?
Is it a foreign call?
It's an international call. Okay. Let's take this other call. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, Precious.
Good evening.
Oh, Mr. Darlington, God bless you.
Who is it?
We bring history back.
Who are we speaking with, please?
To schools. So that our children will know what is happening. We know the truth. And the truth will set you free.
Amen.
Mr. Darlington, the truth will set you free.
Amen.
Yes, like I was saying the other time, they say no good thing from Egypt everywhere.
In Nazareth.
From Igbo land.
Happy?
Then Ojus Tokali told us. Now he wants to become the
senior president.
He wants to become a chief whip. And
no, he's talking about senior president.
God bless you.
Okay, ma.
Thank you very much for this.
Okay, ma.
I've been listening to this session. I thank God they brought you there today. God bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Precious.
Mr. Darlington, I have a lot of messages. Can I just attend to them?
No, before you please, let us round up this thing. What Osinbajo
But you know you have a lot of time to round it up. I've not even read the message purely.
Okay,
I'm going to go through it.
Okay,
all right. So if you
because the man that said that thing is a Yoruba man, oh. That means he's not even into. He doesn't support what is going on here. They dealt with him too, telling him he's not a Lagosian.
All right. So Prince Nwa David says, I hear your respect from and he said Western politics is always highly reputable. They vote based on policies and political ideologies. And then he says Igbos are proud people. We cannot go and kiss anybody or any cabal. And then he further said, he said a lot too, this Prince Nwa David. He says, my sister, if we do state of residence, some people will become governor of Enugu State that are not from Enugu State. It says it's a big trap if you allow state of residence politics. The cabals will become the governors and everything for your state. Oga, we know that out of respect, let us leave Lagos State for the Yorubas. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
We have to respect our Oduduwa brothers and acknowledge Lagos as a Yoruba land.
Okay.
Oga, please, Biko, he is begging you.
Okay,
Oga,
fine.
we know he's still begging you. And that says, Nnamani should take his seat, please. And then he further says, ordinary small Ethiopia, the bully Niger. Hell! Niger, shame me. And then I move to other messages. Chukwemeka Camera says, can you tell me the reason you... Okay. I see you, Chukwemeka. If you don't like it, you can just opt out. It's not by force. Okay. Okay.
Chukwemeka.
Chukwemeka. Yeah, so Chukwemeka. There's something he says, but let me just leave it.
Whatever.
4 Day Sako says, but who is the Nnamani of, for God's sake? How much money or position they promised you? Who swore for Igbo people, for crying out loud? Though I don't blame him, I blame Obi that allowed himself to be used. That's what he's saying.
Who used him?
For the circle. I said British used Obi to validate Nigeria and keep Nigeria for their business as their business center going on. That's what he says. And then Andrew Uyamasi says Nnamani should cover his face in shame. And he says, how much was he paid for this? That's what you said. And Tracy Jacobin says, I'm so pissed with our mentality. How can we let Northerners to control Nigeria? All right. That's what... See, Jacopini, the remaining part of that your message, I will not be able to read it, Abi. Andrew Yemasifada says, nobody is fighting ownership of Lagos with them, but the way they are going about it is harassing everyone who looks like Igbo leaves more to be desired. That's what you said. Yoruba TV says, Lagos belongs to, no, Yoruba. This sounds very much like Edo. He said, Lagos belongs to nobody. No, it belongs to the Yorubas. Namani should take a seat. That's what you said. And then Tony Chukudi says, please, can you put the number for... Okay, we've done that now. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. Let me quickly do a few WhatsApp messages. So many WhatsApp messages here. And this message says, the last caller said the truth. Charity begins at home. You never protect your home. You won't go protect... Okay. My name is Anderson from Okota. Mr. Darlington, right on point. Carrigo, that's what he's saying. And good evening, precious. Welcome, sir, Mr. Darlington. Give us Twitter handle, please. All right. Ask him if the British didn't meet anybody in Lagos. Mr. Darlington, they said, did the British not meet somebody in Lagos?
Before you see, that is the irony. The people they met, who were they? Who were they? That is the question. Some people came in here in 1492. The people that get even the Eko, is it not the father of a child that will name a child? Who named the Eko?
Okay, so Mr. Darlington, now further speaking about this issue, you would recall that when the president-elect during campaign visited Enugu State and where he was encouraging the Igbos, to vote, and he made a statement about, them supporting him or so that they would not get from soaked bread, leftover breads and all of that. And then one of, interestingly, an APC chieftain, Joe Igbokwe in Lagos State had also said that the exclusion of Igbos in Tinubu's community, that is a transition community, it shows that Igbos are already being served soaked bread, soaked water bread
of course,
already.
Of course. And he is there. He is there. They gave him a special assistant on drainages, Abi.
For Lagos State, but he's not in the transitioning committee.
That's what I'm saying. Now that's the appointment they gave him, and now thank God he's aware of this thing. You see, precious. Whenever I have said it before, what happened to the Igbos? There is a proverb that says that when the bushfowl sees the domestic fowl being prepared for feast and is laughing, he should know that his own turn is coming. That is the truth. Where is Sunday Igboho today? Where is Nnamdi Kanu today? These are sons from the south here who are agitating for what? For freedom. So when anybody is telling you that the Igbos will not, they too, are they eating golden bread? No, tell me, are they enjoying it? Even under this regime, are they enjoying it? You can imagine when somebody who is already inside this thing is telling you that he's better off in what form? In what form? This Lagos, if not for federal might, which other place? I have said it here. Lagos was developed by federal might that all of them are using now to make noise and all that. And the Igbos contributed a lot in Lagos. So why are you saying that the Igbos will be eating soaked bread or whatever bread?
Let's go back to the phone.
For people that have contributed so much to Nigeria and to Lagos, why should you talk down on them like that?
Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you. Yes, please. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome.
Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead, please. You obviously do not want to talk. If you call us next time, please ensure that you just go straight and air your thought. Hello, good evening to you. Yes, good evening.
Never mind, I can't hear you, but I know you can hear me.
I can hear you very well.
I'm calling you the pretty precious because Mr. Darlington that owns the
name
is already there with you. I take it from him today, but I will also do my own. Beautiful precious.
Hey, wait, thank you. Thank you so much.
And my great Mr. Darlington.
Good evening.
I greet you.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening to
Good
you.
evening, ma. Good evening,
You are
ma.
my great expansiator. Doing it the way it should go. A whole lot of people have not been telling us the truth about what is happening in this nation.
Abi?
And thank God for bringing you up to even tell us the truth about what is happening. And I'm happy for you.
Thank
I'm
you,
happy to have you even in the station this evening.
Thank you,
this night.
Thank you, man.
So,
thank you.
One thing I have to give to you, Mr. Darlington, is that the God of grace who has endowed you with this wisdom will continue with you.
Amen.
And guide you
Amen.
in all ways in Jesus' name.
Amen.
And
Amen.
coming to all of these people, like Odunzo, I think, like he said earlier, they are all looking for offices.
Abi?
But for me, I would say if they are doing anything and then it's like some other region or a region is not needed, I think they should now share it again within themselves. Let it be all around Muslim. I don't care. But what will be, will be.
Yes.
So, my beautiful precious, right on with your good job.
You're just making me grind and blush from chin to chin. Thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Hello, good evening to you.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, please. You've been calling. Kindly just go straight to the point. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
The Gambia.
All right, go ahead, sir.
You are not responding. Hello?
I have been saying hello to you, but you don't respond either.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
We are hearing you.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear. Yes.
Good. I'm calling from the Gambia.
Go ahead.
Here in West Africa.
All right, go ahead.
There is a question I've been asking other discussants on this platform. Unfortunately, they've not been able to answer me well. The issue is that the country has collapsed totally.
Which country?
Why are we refusing to reconcile ourselves with the fact that the country has collapsed?
You didn't get to that, too.
Mr. Darlington, I like the fact that you're answering that one.
Gentleman to answer me, please.
He's answering you.
I'm in the studio. Which country collapsed?
He's saying Nigeria has collapsed.
Is it the Gambia?
You
forgot that we are the one that saved you people from Jame. We are the one that saved you people from Jame. So if any country collapsed, it was the Gambia. We are the one that saved you people from the Jame. So I don't know which country. Nothing collapsed here. We are discussing our problem.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Hello?
I can hear you. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Hello?
Just go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Right,
go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, it's
Is what?
Mr. Darlington, good evening.
Good evening, my dear. How are you doing?
Hello?
Hello, I'm hearing you.
I know you can hear me, Mr. Darlington.
Yes. Go on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Can you just go ahead? Can you go ahead, please? We can hear you loud and clear.
The network is too bad. Yeah.
I'm
Just go ahead. We can hear you. We've been answering you. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Darlington, for coming.
Yes.
I told them that I will call you today. Mr. Darlington, one thing I wanted to beg you is, my name is Chukwudi, calling from UK.
Okay.
So one thing I wanted to beg you is, can you please, Fridays, if Precious, the beautiful woman there, can help you so that you can be doing maybe Friday or Saturday in the evening, legal hours to help some Nigerians, because there are so many things going on. Then coming to what the other people were saying, please, Nigerians are a laughing stock. Somebody was telling you what he passed through in one of the African countries there. When you come outside, I'm about coming home and I booked the Ethiopian airline. If they do that, I will cancel the tickets. It's part of protest because they can be taken from Nigerians and they are punishing Nigerians this way. And again, anywhere you show the passport, Nigerian passport, they are going to just single you out like you are nobody. I speak German, I speak English, but there are so many things that we Nigerians are going through. Ask yourself, Precious, there was a time people were calling. Have you asked yourself, why is it that 95% of those living abroad supported P2B? Nobody has ever asked this question. Why is it that 95% or even, I might even say 100 or 98% supported P2B?
Your statistics may not be very correct.
When you come outside Nigeria, you see the money Nigeria is spending, how rich Nigeria is. If you meet a German, they will tell you that if you don't fight for it, you will not. Look at the guy that is calling you from Swiss, in Nedu. Switzerland doesn't have a president. They rotate the president among the parliament there.
Exactly, the national.
And the nation function. one of the best places.
I'm telling you.
Why is it that when it comes to Nigeria, it's too bad? Look at Nnamani, what Nnamani is talking. You never supported him from the day one. So what is their problem? That Peter Obi now went to court. He went to them. They said that he plays with religion, but he built a mosque. He went there and did the salah with them. They never wanted.
It's all propaganda.
But Mr. Daniel, I'm so happy that you are there. I'm so happy. May Almighty God continue to bless you.
Amen.
You will live long.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. All right, I think we're finding it difficult.
Now, Precious.
Yes.
Remember that this thing started with the last election. That was when this thing was pronounced. And they were. Do you know the mantra? The sing song then was Igbo don't respect our tradition. Igbo don't respect. And I was asking myself,
Mr. Darlington, can we quickly take this call, please? Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, are you there? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, please. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Mrs. Israel. I'm calling from Norway.
All right, go ahead. Let's hear you. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, what I want to talk about here is concerning the some Igbos that doesn't respect their
hosts.
Doesn't respect themselves. I don't really know. I don't really know exactly what Nnamani meant by Peter Obi should withdraw his own mandate, his own court cases. I don't know. I don't want to insult that man. I've said the man is very stupid, but I don't want to say that.
You can't say that on radio, please.
It's very useless for him to say.
No.
You are going more and more now.
Because normally, when the INEC zone the presidency to select the president and give it to APC, they asked Peter Obi he should just go to court. And the man has gone to court. And the man called Nnamani has the F100 to tell Peter Obi to withdraw his own court cases because he wants the position from Tinubu. This is very bad.
Thank you.
It's wrong.
Thank you so much.
Let us not vilify Nnamani, because it cuts across board. Some people in Yoruba land never supported Tinubu. The leader of Afenifere, Adebanjo, till tomorrow, Obasanjo till tomorrow did not support Tinubu.
Oh, there are lots of young people too who
yes.
So I don't think it was an ethnic thing at all.
Nobody can like you if you are
just like there were Igbo people who also supported Tinubu too.
Exactly. So if you are waiting for everybody to like you, then you don't want to grow up.
All right. So let me quickly jump back on this call. Hello. Good evening to you. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Hello?
We can hear you. Thank you for joining us.
We are hearing you.
Hello?
We can hear you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
What? They're calling from Abulado.
What's your name, sir? Okay, go ahead.
Maz, they're calling from Abulado.
Go ahead, please.
Maz.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Very well. Go ahead. We can hear you crystal clear. Go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mary. God bless you. Mr.
My name is Precious, though, but go ahead. Mr. Darlington can hear you too.
God bless you.
It's okay. Thank you. Go ahead.
Mr. Darlington.
Yes, please.
God will continue to bless you.
Amen. Amen.
I never knew we still have such a people from the south like you. Sir, please, I want to ask you, sir.
Yes.
Why don't get people like Omanze, Kanem, and the rest together so that you people will start to speak for the south in Nigeria? Because as it stands now, it is like we've lost our bearings because there are no people speaking for us. You see, when somebody doesn't know where they bury a dead corpse, and he is asked to exhume that corpse,
you start from the leg.
Hello.
Yes, Go
ahead.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Hello.
Yes, we are with you.
We can hear you crystal clear. Just go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. That has been the problem of all these politicians, more especially in the South Africa. People like Naman, also Joseph Kano, them. Because they do not know the history of this country. They do not know where they start from. That is why they are doing all these things. Please and please and please, we are not happy with what is going on in Nigeria today.
Nobody is.
With the outcome of this election and what is going on today, we are not happy in the South here. You people should be our mouthpiece from henceforth. I beg you, sir.
All right, thank you.
To people like Manza them, people like Ganem them, who can come out to speak. Let them start to speak for Southern Nigeria.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, Mr. Darlington, let me run through some messages before I have you react, because I have so many messages.
No problem.
Godfrey
read the very bad messages. I want to hear.
I know you have a lot of bad messages. Comrade Godfrey from Surulere says, Precious, please don't contest the obvious fact that Mr. Darlington had brought to bear this evening. You know, I always tell you people that your analysis aren't with deep thought, and that's why you always fall for those points like, democracy is perfect. You think our analysis isn't in deep thought? Sorry, we're just doing our jobs, all right? So all Nigerian politicians are the same, all of which are gimmicks and deceits by the agents of the corrupt politicians that disguise as public analysts, that you even make your guests sometimes. Wait, this is finishing thought you give us. All right. Tell Mr. Darlington, when Amoteco was created, Lagos State was there and contributed financially, and Governor Sanwo-Olu was there in person. And ask Darlington if Lagos was part of Southeast or South. He is one of the people that created problem for non-Yorubas. That's what he's saying.
Precious.
So is Lagos State part of South or Southeast? Hold on. Southwest.
Precious.
You have plenty response, so let me finish reading them.
I told you, read the bad one.
I'm reading all. Good evening. Tell your analyst to contest for Lagos State governor, or can he claim ownership of land in Lagos to prove his point? My question is, the station... unfortunately, this station is in Lagos State. Emmanuel sent in this message, and everybody is free.
The other examples I gave, he is not contesting them. He is not.
Okay.
The other people that are not from Lagos that became Lagos State governors, he is not. I wanted him to say it is a lie. So if those people can become governors in Lagos State when they are not from here, why can't somebody else who has even contributed more to the development of Lagos contest the same election? But
they are Yorubas.
Hold on. Since you are going there, Precious, to tell you what ignorance have cost. The three people that contested this gubernatorial election, the three major contenders, Sanwo-Olu, Jandon, and Vivo, are they Igbos? Can you trace any of their lineage to any place in Igbo land? They are all Yorubas. So if the Igbo vote any of them, are they not voting Yoruba sons? Please answer this question. Are they not voting Yoruba sons, for God's sake? What is wrong there? No answer. Was there any time Vivor's father came and tell you that the boy is a bastard, that he's not his son? His village, his people in his family, did any of them come and disown Vivor that he's not one of them?
Mr. Darlington, let's go back to
So what are you talking about? You see, it is not propaganda. I have told you this thing. They started that the Igbos don't respect their culture. Precious, please, is there any time the Igbos to stop the Lagosians from observing your festival?
Mr. Darlington, we're not even talking about ethnicity here. So
no, not ethnicity. I'm telling you what brought the problem, except we address it so that people will stop living in ignorance. Because they told them that the Igbos did it. Mention that thing the Igbos have done. Precious. Some people went to attack a policeman because they want to enforce Okada ban somewhere. They killed them. Was it the Igbo that did it? All the people that surrounded the entire Yoruba land, are they Igbos? The people that took a land, their own land that belongs to them in Kogi and Kwara, are they Igbos? If these people truly mean what they say, if they want to fight for their land, let them go and collect the Kogi and the Kwara from the people that took it over now.
Mr. Darlington, let's attend to some more messages.
Yes, now, so that's how to start.
This message says, for Nnamani, I don't like the words share from Nigerian land, fighting for Igbos. It doesn't speak oneness in Nigeria, and from a solo sent in that message. And then this message says, dear Precious, well done. Mr. Darlington should address your question rather than vomiting away unnecessary arguments. The status of Lagos is undebatable. The East should change the pattern of their politics to be relevant in Nigerian politics. That's what, and perhaps what the man was talking about negotiation. Enough of this bitterness. Buy your day from Mushi sent in that message.
Yesterday,
and then this message says,
yesterday, Tinubu was in opposition.
So let's go ahead. This message says, good evening, Precious. Mr. Darlington is good. I look forward to hearing from him. Right. And then this other message says, good evening, VOPFM. I'm Divine from Ikotun. I'm already enjoying the program tonight, and I really wish Mr. Darlington can always be on the show. He speaks home truth on most matters, even though sometimes he can get carried away. But we need people like him in the ruling cabinet of our nation Nigeria for us to really move forward. I think he can be the voice of reason for those who don't reason. God bless VOPFM. God bless Nigeria. And that's what you said. And then Egege from Agege says, an episode. Good evening, VOP. Cavalry greetings to our beloved man of justice and equity, Mr. Darlington. And then he says, Mr. Darlington, I have nothing to say to you more than may God in his infinite mercy continue to guide and guard you and family in Jesus' name. No weapon fashioned against you shall prosper in Jesus' name. See prayer. He says, I will say all you have said is true. What our leaders are after are the glory of being a chieftain in politics and how much they have acquired through back doors at the expense of the masses. All I know, the law of karma shall come upon them now or later. That's what he says. And then he says, good evening, Precious and Mr. Darlington. God bless you both, especially Mr. Darlington, for all your historical truths you keep revealing, because histories will always guide guide us right. That's what you try to say. Precious, please permit me to vote Mr. Darlington to be our VOP president, please. Thanks. Barbeji from Oshodi sent in that message. You guys take it easy now. You people are pushing me now. Okay, is Uriah Highness BC Woko from Oshodi says, good evening, Precious and Darlington. Precious, you have really done great by bringing our own Mr. Darlington live on the show. He is such an intelligent man. Kudos to him. And for the people crying for non-inclusion of Igbos in the transition committee, they are just crying crocodile tears. I enjoy them to stay calm and watch the super story they created as it unfolds. That's what he says. Let me rush back to the phone lines. Mr. Darlington, you have to wait a little bit more.
No problem.
Hello, good evening to you. We'll have about 1.5 hours to go. So, hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Precious Darlington.
Today now is Precious Darlington.
In fact, I support you. Tell it, say it loud.
You go tired to give me name. You go tired to give me name. Nedu from Switzerland, you're welcome. Go ahead, let's hear you. Nedu, go ahead. Nedu, can you hear me? Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Chris Shackler, just go ahead.
I set my hand there up at the great Darlington.
Oh, my God. Well done, my brother.
All right.
Go ahead, let's hear you. We can hear you. You have the floor. You have the microphone. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh dear, I don't know what's happening.
The network is being funny.
I think the network is. Nedu, can you hear us?
In Enugu State during his own time, which is what Jagaban did Lagos and hijacked Southwest politics. But Chimaroke couldn't do it, couldn't continue, and he's now being retired. He should leave P2B alone. And they are just doing this just to get position, ministers. The other one, Ojo Zokalo, a whole ex-governor, a man who served during the time you serve as a governor is contesting for presidency. You are here fighting for Senate. A man, your mate as a governor, is fighting for presidency. You are fighting for Senate president. And you voted and show the world your vote, which is against the rule of law in Nigeria. Ex-governor, senator, someone who have been in Kuje prison. You see, I don't know where we are going. You know, that is, okay, today, Ali Nonyema said he wants to evacuate Nigerians from Sudan. A lot of people tweeted, they said, now every Nigeria is praising him. Tomorrow, if he wants to run for an office, they will remember him as an Igbo man. Today, he is answering patriotic Nigerians. I wonder when we will leave all this tribal and face the reality. Rufai Hussein of Arise TV, he said, why is everybody so obsessed with someone who came third if they know that he didn't win the election? If they know that he doesn't do well in the election, why is everybody obsessed with him, with his name? He's not the only one that fight case in the courts. Today I listened to the man, a man in Onisha, from northern side of Nigeria. He said during the time Peter Obi as a governor, he even paid, sponsored some people to Hajj. What a love.
They won't remember that.
His first turn, I wasn't his fan, but what he did to Anambra State, I become his fan. When he took up from Ngige, I wasn't his fan. This is me, and I'm saying it how it is, because Ngige was doing the road, doing good. But when he took over from Ngige, I wasn't his fan. But after we saw what he's doing, we encourage everybody to vote for him.
All right, thank you, Nidu.
Someone who is as clean. None of the politicians who contested today was as clean as he is.
That's why they hate him.
And Nigeria needs someone like that.
That's why they hate him.
And today, people are going tribal against where there is no tribal.
Thank you.
Do they think Nigerians that are going flying abroad up and down now, everybody looking for visa, is happy to be a second-class citizen somewhere else?
Thank you, Nidu.
Where we should be first-class citizen in Nigeria.
Thank you.
We are not happy being abroad. It's circumstances, because the institution is not built for us to be there. We look for somewhere else.
Thank you. We appreciate you, Nidu. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. All right, let's quickly take this. I know you'd like to react to that. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. We can hear you. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Darlington, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
He's responding. Go ahead. Just go ahead. He can hear you.
I'm responding.
Okay. What I want to say is this, Mr. Darlington. We that you always complaining about, bad government, because like me, I travel all over countries, some part of the world, you understand. Because like me, I know that bad government fuels, war and the fuel wars, you understand? Fuel wars. Look at what's happening in Sudan. If it's not because of bad government, I don't think this thing will get to where we are. Where Sudan is today. And I want people to go more right. What is going on in Sudan? And Mr. Darlington, I want to tell you, when we are complaining about bad government, we are going for South East. You are not against anybody. Go to South East just like a desert. Just like a desert. We are not going to go South. Somewhere every mission to the South East. But due to our better attention by the government of Nigeria, look at I'm telling you, over 100 men, women, over 100 women in my own family, but no one of us is at home. No, to stand up my family to 5 years old man or to 5 years old or to 5 years old girls. The other women you see, you understand? So we are tired. We want to go home. Nigeria doesn't want to let them break up. Let them go.
No. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. So, Mr. Darlington, you like to react then, so that we look at the airpiece and the Sudan situation.
Precious. Yes, remember when Igbokwe was governor in Imo State? He used to come to Lagos to ask for his own allocation, which they will always refuse to give him because he was an MPP governor. He had to cry. That was how the press called him weeping governor. the marginalization of the East didn't start today. This was the outcome of the war. So the 3R had not been taken care of. All these things that people are saying the East did it, the East did that. Look, development has been weaponized. Somebody told you that he will only develop those who gave him 97% votes.
But Mr. Darlington, the East have had governors. We've had governors in Abia State. Abia State has remained almost undeveloped. No roads, no access. We've had governors in other parts of the eastern states. Why are their leaders not doing their best to ensure that, I mean, they bring a bit of development to that place? That's the thing. Do you have to wait for federal government to do that? What are they doing with the allocation they have as governors?
Precious, what you don't know, don't talk about it.
Okay, sir.
The other day, when Alex Oti won the election under Labour Party as governor of Abia State, I advised him he should not step his feet or his foot inside the Omoaha government house. He should not go there. I told him on this platform, that place is a haunted house, is a polluted house. Since 1999, a whole state government has been using a rented apartment as office. Rented. And
who do you blame that?
And none of them have succeeded. The moment you enter there, it's like that place is swallow destiny. That place is swallow. Oji Carlo and his fellow travelers, including the mom, they had to tell us what they did to Abia people.
So even
some actors, even Nollywood acted a film on it. So Alex Oti, go and look for a rented house and run Abia. If you want to succeed, though, that is my own advice. The entire Southeast, maybe you don't understand. Somebody told you that we are a dot in a circle.
So is that the reason why the leaders won't work?
We have been marginalized.
So is that why the leaders will not work with the allocations they get?
Precious, listen.
Okay.
Somebody like Hope Uzodinma now, because they are saying that Obi came third, he will not win. But Hope Uzodinma came fourth, and he became the governor of
Mr. Darlington, you're digressing. You're not addressing the situation. Why are the political leaders of the eastern states not working for the state, for the interest of their states?
You are not getting
That's the question.
You are not getting it. When somebody is breathing down your neck for political reasons, what can you do? Somebody is like, they are giving you a goat and they are holding the rope. How far can you go? Most of the political leaders in the East, we are appointed for us. It's not our first 11.
But are they not sons of that place?
You didn't get it.
Are they not sons and daughters of the East?
You are not getting it. When they give, when Peter Obi came to Anambra, didn't you see the performance? That is what we are talking about. They never allowed you to elect your leaders. They imposed Hope on them on us, and he's doing their bidding. The entire Omoma, there is no young man there today. Omoma, his own local government. So, are you going to fight somebody with a gun with empty hand? You are not getting it. It was a game plan to embarrass the Southeast.
So it's a game plan for all their governors not to work. It's a game plan for all their senators and House of Reps not to use their constitution projects, constituency projects.
Precious, please. How many are there? The entire Southeast, they have 15 senators.
It doesn't matter, even if they are one. Even if it is one. Show working in your own constituency.
What can one person do?
It doesn't matter. If you show working in one constituency, the difference will be shown.
What are you working with? Is it your own money?
Mr. Darlington, let's go back to the point.
No, are you working with your own money?
Let's quit the argument.
Is it not when you fight for your region and there is a collective agreement to get something for your region? How can one person get something in a place where you have majority from the north? Whatever you propose, they will shut it down. So what will you do? Answer me now.
So as a state governor, you propose something and they shut you down, they will not let you work in your own state. As a state governor that receives allocation,
that's
not an excuse.
What allocation are you getting?
It doesn't matter. We have two eastern states. We have two eastern states as oil producing states. They collect 13% derivatives. What have they done with the money?
Can you see you now? So you have seen where they collected the 13%, Abi.
Why are they not taking it?
You have seen with your two eyes.
The president even said his page. The president said he's paid.
Do you know that even the South, they had to go to court before they gave them 7%? Because they said they give that
Even
kind
if it's 5%, Mr. Darlington, even if it's 3%, they should use it judiciously. We saw what Wike said. He used his own quota to build all the flyovers he has built. Do you understand? So what are the Eastern governors doing with their allocations? That's the question.
In the South, look at the land mass in the South. Is there any land in rivers? We can use 100 billion and do wonders in river because there's no land there.
Well, let's go back to the phone lines. I'm sure a lot of people would like to jump in on this conversation.
That you are talking about, when we elect our leaders ourselves, we will now tell you what to do. Can you go and tell what Uzodinma what to do in Imo State today? He's getting orders from Abuja.
Mr. Darlington will have a caller on the line.
He's getting orders from Abuja.
Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Chris calling.
This is who?
Mr. Darlington, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. Well done.
Hello, Mr. Darlington. I'm greeting. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother. How you doing?
Hello?
Hello, I'm hearing
He's
you.
answering you.
I'm hearing you.
Thank you, Mr. Darlington.
Amen.
It's a privilege to get this line right now, so I cannot hear you well. I know that you can hear me.
Yes, we are hearing you.
The level in this nation that I'm seeing now is passing through stages. We have passed through military and we have entered into paramilitary regime. And in this paramilitary regime, we are now entering into another regime known as appointocracy. So the dictionary might not carry it.
No.
But the science of political science, scientists can define it. Appointocracy, the leadership of one having dominance over a particular people, telling or assuming or appointing people to go and handle one thing or the other, whether you like it or not. Whether your election, in fact, they return your election to the formality. That is actually where we are heading to now. This is a nation where the rule of law is not being regarded. This is a nation where anybody can come out from anywhere and say something, so that we know that that person has a total power of government over one particular region or the other. As I can really with Mr. Darlington by saying that ignorance, they have used ignorance to show so many people away from this nation.
Of course.
Instead of our leaders to contribute to see how the destiny of the youth will be grown. Rather, instead of being a destiny nurturer, they become destiny killers. Destiny killers to the extent that tell me a man of 40 years now, who is a graduate, who knows where he is coming from and where he is going. Look at our youth, everything in Sudan. If you offer me Sudan free of charge, I can go and live in Sudan. If you offer me London free of charge, I cannot go to London to reside. But somewhere along the line, it is because our leaders are killing destiny, are killing the destiny of the youth. That is the reason why everything is just like this. Oh my God, this is a cabal. It's like these people are men of underworld. These are men of underworld. Look at audios of Carlo of the East. What record and legacy did audios of Carlo led in Abia State? Look at the man. What is the legacy? Look at the whole world of the man. Look at Kogia Chokoracha and so on and so forth. But to say it in a way that other people can put around again, we are not, in fact, we are not comfortable with this.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Darlington, let me quickly run through some messages. I have so many messages, and it will be unfair if I don't run through it.
I said select the bad ones.
All right. So this says, "Good evening, VOP and Precious, my baby. My greetings to Professor of History, Honesty and Justice, Mr. Darlington, and the People's General, Mr. Rufai." Okay, Rufai is not here. Thank you all for the rescue and revival push. My spirit is alive again. On Chimaroke Namani, I urge you people to type Namani chased out of his community by Enugu residents, and you will clearly know why and where he's coming from. They are undoubtedly the calamity bedeviling our region. Uche from Olodia Papa sent in that message. Yes, right. And then he says that Igbo man in your studio is just speaking. They say you're talking rubbish, and he's putting more problem to his Igbo people in Lagos. They're giving Igbo people more problem. And then this says everything said about ownership of Lagos is a propaganda. It's baseless, unfounded, and malicious. I appreciate you, Precious. Lagos belongs to Yoruba people, but not all the Yorubas. Okay.
So who are the Yoruba that own it?
And then I've been calling the program line to tell him about the ownership of Lagos, but the line is not available. My name is Magic, Lord Femi Majikudumi from Fadeyi Odiolowo. You can call, but just that we have so many calls. I stand to be corrected. Jakonde is from Kwara State, but was born and bred in Lagos State. In Ikorodu, Ambode is from Lagos, Ijebu-Ekpe. Ambode is from Ijebu-Ekpe, Lagos State. He says Sonolu from Ikorodu, Lagos State. Even the Igbos in Abeokuta, Ogun State, migrated from old Oyo Empire and settled down in Abeokuta. I'm bona fide indigene of Abeokuta, while my mother is bona fide indigene of Lagos Island. That's what he's saying.
Bona fide.
Okay, all right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Darlington, for a very objective thought. I'm glad we have great Nigerians like Mr. Darlington. True to power. Got great work, Precious. Thank you. Prince Emeka sent in that. And then he says, this man is saying my mind. Kudos to you. Tell them if they will hear. Mike from Aswani says, good evening, my people. What is wrong with this in the money? When INEC say if they did not agree with us, they should go to court. Maybe you don't go court.
I wonder.
All right. This says when Darlington said Southeast does not need to align with other parts to gain access to the president. Can any region get the president without the consent or support of other regions? Or last said so that can you get the support without can you get to the presidency without the support of other regions?
Listen very well. You see, these are some of the misconceptions. That was why they say you must 25% of all the states
of 2/3 of the states
of the states, and then federal capital Abuja. That tells you that you must be inclusive.
You know that federal capital is still in contention.
Yes, you must be inclusive in your victory before you can be accepted. If not, they will not form a government of
and that is the question he's asking. That since you said Igbos don't need to negotiate with anyone, do you think the Igbos can actually succeed in being president without negotiating or aligning with other, regions?
That's the question he asked. There are people you negotiate with, and there are people you should not negotiate with because the outcome will be embarrassing. I've told you here. It's not everybody you negotiate with.
Okay.
Yes, there are people you go to negotiate, you regret it for life.
All right, let me go back to the phone lines. We still have the Sudan issue to address. We do not have time. Hello, good evening to you. Hello? All right, we lost that. So let me take a few more messages. Good evening, Mr. Darlington. Well done for the analysis. Do you know that the rate at which people from the East spoil our image is very enormous all over the world? And that is the reason why we don't have good reputation. That's what this person is saying. And then this says, good evening, VOP crew, Pretty P2, and special greetings to Professor Darlington. Thank you for schooling us. I wish our schools will include history from our elementary level. It will go a long way. I have a litany analyst. I respect, sir. You are one of them. This country is in a big problem, and I pray we get out of it. That's what you said. Please, Mr. Darlington, share your handle, please, and I will follow you bumper to bumper. Franca from Eva sent in that message.
Oh my God.
Mr. Darlington, why are you laughing about that? Andrew from Ajari says, Mr. Darlington, you're doing well. When I grow up, I want to be like you. Hello. And then, good evening, Mr. Darlington. I salute you. Precious, you are on hot seat. Please, Mr. Darlington, take it easy on mommy. Juliet from Ayobo sent in this message. And I'm not going to kill me today.
It's okay.
All right. People will not finish me today. Okay. Precious, I already told you that your station is 100% Igbo.
You see, propaganda again.
Anyways, I'm never surprised at Mr. Darlington's lack of idea. Lagos State is not Anambra, etc. Ask him in the last gubernatorial election, which eastern state did PDP or APC victorious respect people and their ideology, and tell him America tried reaching Osama severally, and when they actually succeeded or successful, the grammar, it was Chopper. The Maritimes entered his compound with, and less than 20 soldiers carried out the operation. Oloye from Fagbili sent in that message. I don't understand. I really don't understand.
You just want to talk.
We're not offline. We're on air. Adegboyega Adediji says, long one. Let me sit down properly to read this. It says, some of your callers are jokers. Where did that caller get the statistics from that 95% of people living abroad are for Peter Obi. This illusion of imaginary victory should be stopped. Election isn't won on radio. Your guest should save his energy to what that concerns the Yorubas and the Southwest politics. Let him focus much on how his people and his region in the Southeast will get it right. He's crying more than the bereaved. His voice for his people, his truth are not my truth. And let him go to the radio station in Southeast and speak his truth if he will not be targeted or kidnapped. And is here speaking as lords, and the jubilate are hailing him and others are hailing him. He said they have been marginalized is the reason why politicians in the Southeast not delivering on their own governance for their people. Darlington, you're joking, oh, that's what he said. And then this message says, okay. This says, it's a shame that someone like Oji at his age is still looking for Senate president while others are becoming president. Our so-called leaders in Igbo land have sold us out. We always have bad governors and greedy politicians. Senator from Isola sent in that message. And another long one. Michael from Bedas Express Prayer. I'm tired of Nigeria with crying emoji. No, don't be tired. Prayer, why can't people like Mr. Darlington enter into politics in Nigeria? Michael sent in that. He says, do you think about the Republic of he said, Mr. Darlington, be coming down. Mr. Darlington, you're not coming down on me. Okay, now see where the problem is coming from. Why are the East always running from responsibility? Thank you, precious. God bless you. What did I do? Instead of look back and develop Southeast region and settle issues where it is necessary, they are busy claiming another land. Onitsha is industrial hub, but to my greatest surprise, it has den of robbers. Onitsha is supposed to be industrial hubs. To my greatest, okay, that's what you say. Onitsha is supposed to be industrial hub, but it has plenty of robbers. Precious, please allow Mr. Darlington talk. The essence of this is for him to be heard. Please let him finish. The essence of it is for me to also ask my questions. Hello, you will not teach me my job. God bless you too. I appreciate you. Mr. Darlington, don't worry, they don't understand you and I. All right. And he says, please help ask Mr. Darlington if the political appointees in Southeast are not Southern. Because he said both people that contested in Lagos are all Yorubas, but he did not believe those in the East are appointed by who? Okay,
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I wonder.
So, Mr. Darlington, let's face what is happening. Alan Oyema has volunteered to use his airline Airpeace to airlift Nigerians stranded in Sudan. However, we know that Nigerians in Sudan are facing a bit of challenges, unlike their other African counterparts, where we have other countries like South Africans, other countries escaping through the Ethiopian route, because we hear that that's the safest route or the safest border so far to evacuate people from, and they have been doing that. So you would recall that sometime last year, September last year, thereabout, the Ethiopian embassy had said that from September 29th precisely, that they would stop visa on arrival for Nigerians. So as it were, I think that to all other neighboring countries, they still have the issue of visa on arrival. So when most Nigerians try to join, especially students, try to join or their other African counterparts to go through the Ethiopian border, they sent the Nigerians back that they need to go get a visa, and it's been a problem. Even the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Onyama, has said that it's been a challenge to ensure that they evacuate Nigerians from the safest routes ever possible. And so far, it's looking more like the land route is one of the safest routes to evacuate them from, and are trying to negotiate with Egypt and the rest of them. However, he also disclosed the same issue with Ethiopia. Why do you think Ethiopia is giving Nigeria a lot of challenge?
It is lack of respect. The AU building is in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. Is that not true?
Yes.
That AU building was built by China single-handedly. If you go there, you have a Julius Nyerere Hall. You have a Mandela Hall. But precious, no single Nigerian leader has a hall in that place. And we are the giant of Africa. And we are the biggest contributor to the AU funds. What does that tell you? Look, people don't know how deep this thing has been. I'm telling you, we have sunk so deep that even the Republic of Benin here don't have respect for us. They don't. These are people that we are using our fuel to power their industry. They don't have any regard, all because of the leadership at home. Nothing else. I said nothing else. Under normal circumstances, I've told you, these are people that a president in Nigeria should take a phone and call the other people and say, I want my people back. And pronto, they will clear the airways for them to leave their country. They will never do that because they don't have any, and they know that the government at home is weak. They can't do anything. That is just the simple truth. In international diplomacy, might is right. When you see countries flexing muscle like this, what do you think they are doing? They are trying to let you know that they are around, though. So whatever you are trying to do, be very careful. They are trying to let you know that they are around. In Nigeria, even as the giant of Africa, do you have any influence in Africa? Do you? You don't. All because of what? High level of corruption among our leaders. They see it now. So why would they respect you? Why would they respect you? So whatever they are doing to us, it is because of the home front, nothing else. So when we are talking about getting Nigeria right, people think that we are just talking. These are the outcome. Precious, this is the outcome. Nothing else. Go and watch. Or let this thing escalate now and become a basket case. They will not do anything. They are telling you they are doing negotiation. They are preparing. They are getting approval. Meanwhile, you and I know Nigerians that stroll in and stroll out of Sudan. When Bunu Sheriff Musa, half of his wealth is in that country. Half of his wealth is in that country. Yet, we cannot even exert a little bit of influence over that country. So, there is nothing you and I are going to do except the government take care. As for my Southeasterners, precious, when you have supposed to have lost a war, you don't know what comes with it. People, all these people that are talking, they don't understand. And I sympathize with them because they don't know. It's not that we may not have time. Let me go back to history. The Igbo man have made a lot of sacrifices in Nigeria. And it's on record. No other ethnic group have sacrificed more than Igbo.
Listen, we're not talking about the Igbo.
I'm telling you what these Easterners you are trying to demonize. I want to let you know now why
we are talking about this Nigerians in Sudan issue.
So is it not the same problem? Onyema is an Igbo man. He has been doing it all over. In South Africa, he was one that lifted Nigerians there. When the federal government was deciding who will go, who will not go. The man single-handedly did it. He didn't discriminate. He brought everybody back. And I think he did it somewhere else too. I think in Libya, here in Libya. He did it. Is Onyema the only person that owns an airline? Precious, answer me. Nobody will recognize all these things. So nobody. The moment he raised his head now, say, want to go, Igbos cannot rule. Have you seen where the problem have been? Precious, you will not talk now. You will not talk. I have told you this thing. Unless you allow me to tell you you will know. They have seen you as a cash cow. You have to work for them. You are not supposed to rule.
And who is the them by them?
The people that own the country according to them. Now, did they see people who own Lagos what they told you the other time? Didn't you see it? Didn't you see it? Meanwhile, you are the greatest contributor to the economy of Lagos State. You are the greatest contributor. And look at what they did to you. Now, tell me, what do you want them to do? If tomorrow night they say they are not voting, you will come here and tell me that the Igbos did not participate in the election, so how can they win? The one that wanted to participate, what happened to them? The people that died now, did anybody celebrate them? Did anybody even visit their family? Did anybody set up an inquiry to know what happened? These are issues now. So when the Igbos want to do something right and you shock them to go back into their self, tomorrow we start blaming them. Whatever they do, they will turn it another thing. Nnamdi Kanu is fighting to self-determination. They say is an IPOB man. But look at what is going on in the north, where terrorists are being crowned and turbaned. Please, the pressure, don't even let me remember what is going on. It's annoying. Seriously. It's annoying. You are doing everything. From the time this country became independent, the Igbo man has been contributing. Yet, when it comes to rulership, they say he cannot rule. And you are asking me, why can't the Igbo do this? Why can't the Igbo do this? Have they been given that chance? Have they? Nobody has given them the opportunity. Look at the P2B now. Look at what he's going through. They let the people that are they're supposed to be embarrassing and Daddy made a statement on channel television, but they are telling you that it was P2B that should be arrested for treasonable felony. Is it today? When they overthrew Shagari, they put him in house arrest and put Ekweme inside the Kirikiri prison. Ekweme, is it not the vice? What is his own? Precious, what is his own? Is it the one writing the check or signing the checks? You don't know how deep this thing is. That is why you are saying what you are saying. You don't know. Leave that thing though. This is a real issue. So when you see the Igbos behaving one kind, it is because of the experience they have had, because you are not wearing their shoe. You are not. Go to Imo State, Omoma local government, no young man there. No young man. Mention any other part of where they have sacked and killed all their young boys. For what? For what? What did they do wrong? On suspicion of being an IPOB member. This is IPOB where no other country in the whole world have labeled a terrorist group. It's only here.
Can we go back to the phone lines now, please?
So when you are talking about the Southeast, please, we are the most progressive. You go and check before the war. How come the Southeast was the most fastest growing economy? How come? They took away everything during the war now, and you are blaming the Igbos. Why are you blaming them? What do you want them to do? They are right. Have anybody given it to them? They are right. Did anybody give it to them?
Mr. Darlington, let's go back to the phone.
When the equipment wanted to contest, they put them all. The Igbo, they put them inside the hotel and lock up the door. After the election, they opened the door for them to come out. And you are telling me?
Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I am Gabriel, calling from Ikorodu.
Gabriel, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Mr. Darlington, I'm great to know.
My brother, good evening, Jerry.
Yeah, I thank God for your life. And you and Mr. Peter Monse, your contributions in this radio station encourages me, makes me believe that there is still hope for this country. Concerning what we are discussing, I want to make it very clear. There are some people from the East we believe that love the people, but the truth is that they are after their pocket and their family. They are not speaking for us. They are not for us. They don't love us. So, among all the politicians from the East, you see these people, you say you never even. You see Nandekano. These are special brands.
Oh, they will not let those people. They will not let them rule. They will never.
And that is why they are hated by this set of politicians. Oh. And there is one thing I realize: they are attacking people from all fronts because they have seen that he is a different brand. There is a question you asked Mr. Darlington about why some politicians from the East cannot do things with the money that they came from the system. You forgot that some of these politicians have godfathers, and the moment they are sponsored and they get into office,
they bring returns. They bring returns to them.
They have percentage.
Oh.
And these are the reasons why the government cannot perform. So we know them. We know their way.
Is that even an excuse, sir? Because other regions also have godfathers, and yet they still perform and are still able to.
Which godfather?
So please.
Everywhere.
So that's the point. So are you saying that other governors are outperforming this?
What are they performing?
What are they not performing?
What are they in the north? In the north, who is there? What is going on in the north? Mention one region in the north that is anything. Lagos State, that is the most richest. The IGR in Lagos State is the IGR of 36 states. The money Lagos State collect in Apapa Port alone, Apapa Port, is equal to the IGR of Imo State. Apapa Port, the money they collect there. All these big businesses that are going on here, from Alaba International to Ladipo Paper Market, do you know how much they collect there? No, tell me. Okay, dredge River Niger. the River Niger, so that they can decongest Apapa Port. They said no, the Igbos will now be importing through.
No, but the government has just come out and they say they're concessioning the Onitsha ports very soon. So we're hoping that happens. So go ahead, please. Let's hear you. You have the phone. Sorry, apologies. So they had said that they're concessioning the Onitsha ports.
That is true. The 3 hours ago, want to promise us since after the war. What happened to it? Please. Leave that thing. They will say it just to make you believe that something is happening. The second Niger bridge, what happened? It's still under construction. No, it has not been fully opened.
All right. So Mr. Darlington, you have a message here. Magic, Lord Femi Majikudumi says
the one that told me about
yes,
Lagos.
He says you're a blatant liar. That you do not know the history of Lagos. So the first people that settled in Lagos are the Aworis, followed by others. He said the Aworis are in Lagos State and Ogun State. Therefore, Lagos belongs to all the Yorubas.
Okay, they settled. Okay, you had him.
So he says any Yoruba from any state of southwest can contest for governorship in Lagos State, but not Igbo and Hausa. Igbo or Hausa can contest for any other positions like National House of Assembly, National Assembly, but not governorship.
You can imagine.
In Lagos State House of Assembly, we have Igbo who cannot even speak Yoruba, but his wife is a Yoruba. Some years ago in APC, we had a councillor who is from Akwa Ibom representing a particular ward in Shomolu local government area. So he's practically schooling you on what he had said before.
Their word is settled in Lagos, Abi. Okay, all those Brazilian quarters at Isaleko, all those quarters you have there, where did they come from? The Spanish seller that first brought people to that Isaleko in 1492. Those people he settled there, where are they from? He knows the history of Lagos. Okay, let him tell us the Oba ship stool in Lagos. Who instituted it? Where did it come from? The Great Eyo Empire. Lagos was not included. If you look at the triangle, it moved from Badagry side down to Republic of Benin. Lagos was not even in the picture. That is why you saw a Rubadu, senior Rubadu, who was the administrator of Lagos. Even in Bono GK, Lagos from time immemorial, I have just told him now, it had been a separate colony.
So, Mr. Darlington, can I go back to some more messages?
All these things, I just gave him history. Okay, you claim Lagos is your own. All the federal institutions in here, let us remove all of them now. Are you the one that built them? No, are you the one?
Mr. Darlington, Tunde from Ijegamo says, Prepare, good evening. The prospect that could become president in Nigeria has been opposed by the Igbos themselves just because they are in APC. Okorocha is more qualified to become a president, but Igbos call him names till he became irrelevant.
It cannot be.
Have been supporting PDP since 1999 and they refuse to give them tickets. They put all their eggs in one basket. Tunde sent in that message.
Look at
this says, we love Mr. Darlington. Otie Prayer, thank you, Auntie Prayer, thank you so much. Thanks for bringing him. We appreciate you. And then this says, PP, PP baby, old woman like me. How are you doing? And promise is fine. Big ups to Barrister Darlington. Also, Nnamani, Ozokalo, they are. I'm not going to say that. It says selfish and self-centered. It is a precious. What time does?
Please, precious. Please let me address this issue.
Mr. Darlington, please. We have so many messages.
When you don't test, look, they say when a deity becomes too troublesome, it is reminded of the tree that carved it. All these people that are telling us Igbos are this, are they better than us?
Mr. Darlington, please, let's not make this.
No, it's not. But they are saying it because if they run away with it, it will become a fact. Meanwhile, there is no factual truth in it. That's what we are saying. There is no factual truth in it. This was how they were telling you. I had to volunteer. I went to radio and TV to puncture that idea that the Igbos are not united. This election that happened here, we are the Yorubas united against their own son.
All right, so let's go back to the phone.
We are not united.
Hello, good evening to you.
PC.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, I can hear you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Chino, so I'm calling from Surrey.
Chino, so go ahead. Let's hear you.
Good evening, Mr. Darry.
Good evening, my brother. Well done.
Ms. Precious, let us leave our governors in Southeast. But can you ever ask federal government why did they shut down Port Harcourt Seaport and Warri Seaport?
They are telling us about development.
I I have worked even in Apapa here. There's a ship that's supposed to come all the way from China. But when the ship came all the way from China, it couldn't even stand on this Lagos water. But that ship moved to Warri and the Calabar Seaport, and that ship landed there. That ship landed in Calabar Seaport. But during that Obasanjo time, they said that ship cannot stay there. The chief said no. The seller said no, that the ship cannot stay in Lagos water. If you stand on Lagos water, the next day the ship can move to the deep sea. They have to return that ship back because of politics. If they can give Igbos southeast, if they can allow that seaport, open that Port Harcourt seaport, Warri seaport, and all these Calabar seaport, I am telling you, Lagos will be empty. Let's leave our governors. Those ones are criminals. They are just
all the revenue Lagos is making. Is it not from the big business that they are doing here? Precious, the biggest ship in the whole world landed at Onne Port 2 years ago. Didn't you hear it? Onne Port in Port Harcourt. Onne, the biggest ship in the whole world. Is that one a rumor? Why can't they develop it? That is where you are even talking. You are from Rivers, where the oil is coming from. How developed is that place? Bayelsa. Were you not here when Osinbajo went to go and do groundbreaking ceremony to clean Ogoni land? What happened since that time? Now that you are telling me, answer me now. Answer me. Have they done well? You that is the golden you that is the golden fleet that led the golden egg. How far with your development?
Thank you for
is that not why the Niger Delta boys?
No,
is that not why the Niger Delta boys carried the hand and they gave them amnesty? Just to pacify them.
All right, so I have a lot of messages on YouTube. MJ says, I don't think Mr. Darlington is helping the situation in Nigeria. The way he's talking about maybe Igbos should go back to the east and build the place like Lagos. This is not necessary. Cindy Alba says, the man who called you now is not from Gambia, he's about Nigeria. MJ says, two wrong cannot make a right. We should all come down and do the needful. As it dey pain us in Africa, he dey sweet the Western world, but all don't really paying attention. We only argue unnecessarily. King MJ says, Auntie Precious, you look damn. Oh, Precious, thank you. Thank you. Ademola Adedigba says, the upliftment in service. And okay, so then MJ further says, Oyo Empire, that he disagrees with you, that Oyo Empire was extended to Ghana and beyond, not to talk of Lagos. No, you need to go and read your history.
It didn't go to Ghana.
Very well. You're not a student of history. That's what they say.
The Gold Coast didn't get up to that place. So.
And Ademola said, Yorubas are very objective. And then Onye Kachuku says, no one, Mr. Darlington, you are a true blood of the son of Igbo land away. Precious, please calm Mr. Darlington down, because what he's doing will not help the situation. Darlington, you need to be tutored away. Rockshine says, welcome, sir, Mr. Darlington. Give us Twitter handle. Lagos was built by Nigerian taxpayers' money when Lagos was capital city. I can believe it when people, I don't believe it when people keep saying you build your state. Tony Wagai says, Oga Darlington, I just fall in love with you, your son of the soil, and Mr. Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to make Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to bless and give you more wisdom. And then let me take this message from Naya. He says, good evening, Sister Precious. I want to thank you for bringing Mr. Darlington to VOP 90.3. Kudos to him. I want to know where Mr. Darlington is from, and also I would like to know if he can be coming at least 3 times in a week to the studio. Thanks. Why you do? Mr. Darlington, will you come 3 times in a week?
Is in your hands. Is
in my hands. All right. And this says, the audacity of your guest speaking about the Yorubas and Southwest politics can only be tolerated in Southwest. Have you seen any Yoruba person on any station, Southeast Radio, ranting and telling Southeast story? He dare not. He will be kidnapped or killed. No, Mr. Darlington, let's not go back to that.
No, we are
not. I beg you.
No.
Michael says, no. Let me go to my message. Mr. Darlington, please. You know we'll quarrel on phone. Let's not quarrel in person.
You can see now.
It's okay.
The people that beat you with the case.
They have the right to their thoughts, just like you have the right to your thoughts.
No, let me answer him now.
No, Mr. Darlington, you've answered enough. You won't keep answering.
We did not reply. We are now fools, Abi. If we have retaliated during that election, Uncle,
Mr. Darlington, Michael says, my people, if APC are not worries, they will not use people like Nnamani. I call people like Kenneth Okonkwo, not people that they don't have pedigree. All right. Then this says, Ima from Fresh Access, Precious, if you are playing devil's advocate, at least play intelligently, really, not to counter obvious and sensible statements of your guests. But I guess this is the narrative government wants, using regulatory bodies to use the media to keep confusing us in order to make us I say, so people believe to believe in their own stories, right? People are learning from your advocacy. Example, the writer that said that Mr. Darlington should go to the East and would be kidnapped for speaking this way. Why Igbo leadership did not use the opportunity to better the East. I don't understand what I actually said that, got at you. I shouldn't have queried why the Igbo leaders are not developing their states. Is it wrong for me to query?
No,
if that is wrong, I'll query over and over again.
No,
because it's my job to query.
Not because I also queried you why your people have not developed. What happened to Kensaro Wiwa? What happened to them?
Okay, so I take this message. Service can't leave the name Peter Obi out of their mouth. They are so bitter, obsessed that they leave that. Your message is so long. It's, I saw a post where one of the students in Sudan was learning how to stop Christians in Nigeria. Oh, wow. These people and their likes are the ones who would graduate, come to Nigeria and terrorize people like it's happening in Sudan. If they are there to study violence, the practical is happening there now. Why are they running back? Hey, wait. All right. Adegboye Gadideji, he would send a message on Lagos Talk tomorrow saying something different. Oh, wow. That's what he said. But you did not put your own name. He said, Mr. Darlington, ride on a beg. He says, okay, it's a pity there that Air Peace is going again to rescue Nigerians stranded in Sudan. Again, doing the job of government officials.
Yes.
Incompetent and irresponsible.
That is what we do. We build. We create
wealth. Who abuse and attack the Igbos. I hope they will call their people in Sudan not to go
not to enter the plane. Let them not enter.
You said a lot, but I'm not going to read further what you said.
I have told you, Precious, we create wealth. We don't destroy wealth.
It's okay. Uche from Olivia Papa says, on performance of governors in Nigeria cannot be centered on the southeast region. Precious, just do the investigation by driving around the country and you'll be surprised at ignorant and pretense of many of these scholars. In the past, in the east, people are loud and don't pretend, especially when the deceit is obvious. That's what you're saying.
Chris
from Ikeja says, let me talk Mr. Allen Onyema. Let me thank him rather. He is indeed a patriotic Nigerian. Is Dangote and Otedola a Nigerian, supposedly richest men in Nigeria? But when it comes to rescue citizens in affected countries, you never see them.
Or hear
now
them.
They all need an Igbo man to save Nigerians. Then I ask, what is the work of the government? Mr. Darlington, thank you for always being on point. That's what he says. Mr. Darlington, all these your fans. Good evening, Pretty Precious and Mr. Darlington. Mr. Darlington, great job. Kudos to you. But please, the heat is too much on my Pretty Precious. Please allow her to. I'm sweating, sir.
Are you serious?
He said, please allow her to rest, please. Nigerian problem can never finish. And Mrs. Inki Oputa, Inki, thank you, my sister. Mr. Darlington is making me sweat on cold AC. Precious, kindly say VOP. Darlington is fanning the embers of ethnicity, thereby causing hatred among Nigerians. This may go against your radio station.
You see now.
He says he is not addressing your questions, rather he is pointing hand and blaming federal minds. Please caution him, he is too emotional and tribalistic. For the records, Easterners are the problems of the East. Bayode from Mushi sent in that message.
Really?
Precious, what time does Rufai Oseni use? Okay, I think he's always on Sundays. I think from 9 a.m. on Sundays, right? Or 8
is it not in the morning? In the morning
with in the morning with Mary. What time again? 8 a.m.
That should be 7.
7 a.m. Okay, thank you. Hello, I'm Okenwachika from Lagos. Your guest is right. All he said is nothing but the truth. I salute him. And then he says, agitation and analyzing issues are different things. The problem of last election started with the notion Lagos is no man's land. People who can tell their own story is busy claiming what he do not know. People who cannot tell their own stories. Is that what you mean? All right. Okay. All right. Reaching you from Canada. All the people condemning Mr. Darlington lack history. Igbo slaves in Nigeria. I am Yoruba man. Sincerely, I wept for Igbos when I watched documentary of the advent of Biafra. I concluded Igbos have been cheated in Nigeria. I wish I have opportunity to call. You can call us, please. Please do what to call us.
That's what I'm telling you. There are people who don't know what happened.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
They don't know what happened.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Can you hear us? Good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling on? Help us turn off your listening device, please.
Hello, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you, please.
All right, so turn off your listening device, please.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Right. So I really appreciate Mr. Darlington, and I'm a Yoruba man, and I'm reaching you from Canada.
What's your name, please?
And to be sincere, my name is Jacob.
Okay.
My Yoruba name, that is Tokwe, yeah. So I think people condemning the man, they lack history, because I don't think Igbo man deserve what Nigerian as a whole is actually giving back to Igbo. Because watching some documentaries some months ago, then I realized Igbo has been cheated. Igbo has been dehumanized in Nigeria, the Nigerian that belongs to all. So I think whatsoever pain Igbos are revealing to Nigeria today, they deserve to actually have this state of government. So that is just my contribution. Many of us who lack history, we just need to give Igbo a chance in Nigeria so that they will know that this country actually belongs to them.
Thank you, my brother.
That is my own take.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, my brother. Because if you are not wearing the shoe, you won't know where it's pinching.
All right. So, hello, good evening to you.
You won't know.
Hello. Hello, are you there? Good evening. All right. We have too many calls. Let's see. So too many messages. This guy from YouTube, he says, Darlington, you need to be tutored. And he says, sorry, people like Darlington have made other tribes not to trust Igbos. You need submissiveness to get to the top. And King Gamji says, I would like to teach Mr. Darlington the history of Yoruba. And he says because he doesn't know much about Yoruba history.
It's a lie.
He says showing Nigerian passport abroad is like someone with drugs. And King Gamji says instead of us to and then
doesn't want to tell me.
Obi to Obi says the caller is in Canada. He knows the truth. Toli Chukudi says, please, Mr. Darlington, can you ask VOP allow you to do some program show? Maybe legal shows or something like that. That's what he said. All right, let me go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening to you.
Oh my God, how will I be doing this?
Yes, thank you for joining us. Oh, thank you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is John. I'm calling from Oroshoki.
John, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you, John.
Yeah, I appreciate Mr. Darlington so much.
Thank you.
So God will continue to give him more wisdom. So you see, like people say, Igbos are them the boss. They do follow. Igbos and Hausa, now only two of them stand on their own. But Yoruba they do follow. The Yoruba the Hausa slave.
No. Can you just address? Can you just address the issue you want to address without? Can you go straight and address your issues, please? Let's not keep rolling, please.
Like some people say, I started following you when you started this program. Although I've been present for the best, I've not been able to get to the.
Now you are through. Now you are through. Say something.
I'm getting through now. I had somebody said at the middle of the program that people cannot win election except they align with the party, joint party. So why the other person no one join them? And now I'm not the person they thought that now from the west here, they like to join. Now so as well do come out, go down and begin beg people how to come. Make you prepare.
All right, so are you done? Can we move ahead?
Allow me. Let me make my point.
No, I will not let you. I will not let you to keep, making maligning statements. It's not fair. So, please.
Like I was saying, want to kill a dog, give it a bad name. That is what they are giving to Igbos. They know their quality. They know that those that don't want this Nigeria to be better, that don't want people to rule. You know that an Igbo man happens to be at the end of affairs, this country will be better. They don't want the country to be better.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The country must be better.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, let me take a few more messages here. Good evening, Sister Precious. Where is Precious? So, and this says, okay, let me go back to this phone line. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's your name?
That I'm true now.
Thank you. Go ahead. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Fadi. This is Lord Femi Majet that sent messages.
All right. Go ahead.
This is what I want to say. I so much love Mr. Darlington. I've been listening to him not today or tomorrow. He has always made good points. But tonight, this night, he fumbled. Although he still said some things that are truth about Igbo. When I was in the army, in the military, over 22 years ago, Igbo are regarded as third class in the Nigerian army, Yoruba second. Then I know what happened.
So who becomes first class and who defines who is first class and second class and third class really? From your experience, who defines that from your experience in Nigerian army? Who defines who is first, second, or third class?
Nobody, but we know in the army.
Nobody.
Talk of appointment, and this thing started since Ojukwu, since Civil War, and I so much love Ojukwu. Ojukwu was fighting for the right. I sympathize with the Igbo. The Igbo have not been taken serious, and it's wrong. They can become the head or the president of this country. I disagree. It's like they are trying to sideline them, and it's not fair. But the only thing I disagree with Mr. Darlington is that he does not know the history of Yoruba and Lagos State. Because Lagos State really is a colony. Even in the US, we have a colony, one of the 13 British colonies that formed the original United States. You can't tell them they are not from the US. So that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And then it should stop saying they are the one, the Igbos are the one built Lagos. They are the one go to this. So it is very, very wrong. And then talk of contesting in Lagos. My younger sister, my mommy last born, married Igbo from Anambra Oka with 5 children. My other sisters married Delta Igbo a man. So what I'm saying that the Igbos have been cheated in Nigeria. I know that one quite sure. Talk of appointment, you will see that the Igbo will be the last on the line. So, and it's like, in fact, what happened during the election, I don't like it. The way they were treated. Everybody is not Igbo. Yoruba voted for Labour Party. I know some agents who are agents for Labour Party. Then my younger brother called me from Abuja that I should vote Obi. He was telling me about it. The same thing my cousin. Then on the internet I discovered many Yorubas love Obi and they voted for him. And most of the people that voted at it is not only Igbo. We have other tribes from Kogi and all that, Yoruba. Many Yoruba voted for Obi. So that is just it. I'm not happy with what happened in Lagos State because I'm a member of APC and not just a fan. I have my ID card, but I'm not happy. Even when a particular guy went to a health center, they don't know that he's not Igbo, it's from maybe Calabar or Akwa Ibom. They were denying him access to the hospital. The same thing. One of the agents of APC where I went to vote, I know him, we live on the same thing. He said all the Igbos in their house, they will not allow them to fetch water again. This, what did they call it? The tap. So, but he said they will not allow them. And I haven't heard that one of the owner of a particular, I don't want to mention it because the guy is a powerful somebody in Lagos State, just like MC Oluomo, that headed a particular region. He said all the Igbos in his house, he gave them quick notice. It is wrong. We are all the same. There is no. It is very painful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for contributing. I appreciate you. All right, Mr. Darlington, we have to run. We have to run.
Precious.
So we've been talking for about 2.5 hours.
You see, Precious. Please.
So Mr. Ademola Adedigba says, Mr. Darlington, no matter what Igbos do, without a rethink of attitude or change of attitude, they cannot go anywhere. That's what he said. And then another message says, Mr. Darlington, please share your social media handles before leaving the studio. Mr. Darlington, what do we do? Should we tell them?
Wait now. Are you the owner of the social handle?
I don't know. I'm asking, should we tell them?
Well, you see, Precious.
All right.
Go back to history.
We don't have time for history. You have just 60 seconds. We're wrapping up. Our time is over.
The people that need the orientation are the people blaming and condemning the Igbos. We have never been the problem of Nigeria. Go and check. Ojukwu went to Aburi with Gowon to sign an agreement which would have saved Nigeria the trouble of the civil war.
Mr. Darlington, you have 30
seconds. When he came back, some permanent secretary in the Southwest told the Gowon, don't agree. If you agree, we become slave to the Igbos. That same Aburi Accord is what we are discussing today. Precious, go and check what is in that Aburi Accord. It is what the Igbos saw in 1967, which the Southwest refused to adhere to. Go and check. All the problem of Nigeria always start from the Southwest. Let them deny it, and then let me give them history. All this one they are saying, they have refused to do the change. It's not the Igbo. We have never caused problem wherever we are. I challenge anybody to tell me when the Igbos are fighting in Lagos or disobeying Lagos state order.
Thank you, Mr.
That is how to prove a point, not just making noise. We are the most peaceful ethnic group. Somebody should hear me this night. The Igbos are the most peaceful ethnic group. That's why they are striving in their business. Simple and short. So all this vilification and the demonization of the Igbo, it does not hold water. We came out of a civil war. Yet Anambra is the first state to conquer the Millennium Development Goal. They conquer poverty. Anambra was the theater of war because it's the people's home state.
Thank you.
So when the people are here talking, let them go back to their own history.
Thank you.
All
right. So thank you. We've had Barrister before I say Barrister Mr. Darlington. We've had Barrister Darlington Agomo with us. He's a lawyer, human rights activist, public affairs analyst, social critic, and president Citizens Against Double Standard. Thank you so much for obliging my request, Mr. Darlington. So what do we do about the social media now?
I will give it out when it is necessary, not now.
Okay. All right, Lagos, thank you so much for joining us and chiming on the conversation. By the way, you can go look up today's edition of the show on YouTube, and maybe you watch and drop your comments there. We do appreciate you deeply. Tomorrow is another edition of the show. This show is being produced by Promise. My name is Precious Enyi. On social media, I am at Precious Enyi Official. Precious Enyi spelled ENYI. So Precious ENYI Official on Instagram. On Twitter, I am at Precious_Enyi. See you tomorrow, Lagos. So have an amazing evening.